I don't think I have to give you guys much time to guess what car I'm in today. Yes, that's right, I'm in a Supra. Justin from Devoted Media has made one hell of a Supra mod, the definitive Supra mod, and it's so good that I don't feel like one video is going to be enough to do this mod justice, because there is some really interesting stuff here that you guys are going to have to check out. So in this video, I'm going to be checking out just some of the tuning parts for this, and then we'll do another video where I check out the rest of the tuning parts, because, well, they come into two categories, and you'll see why as we go through this video and the next. Do you know what? Let's just come down here and have a look at this car. I don't want to talk about anything else. I just want to check it out. So here we have it. Now, as I do this video, it is an unreleased mod, which means that there are going to be a few bugs. Let me just go ahead, repair this, and there might be some new bits that are changed and tweaked or whatever by this time this goes out live for everyone to download, and when it does, I'll put a link in the description below. I've got to say, there isn't that much wrong with this already. This is brilliant. It has been noted that Michael's head does stick out, but we can fix that really easily, because of course this is a Targa top Supra, which means we can just go to roof and remove the roof. There we go. Now we don't have to worry about Michael's head sticking out the top. By the way, we can just show you a few more parts here. There is a carbon version with a really, really nice carbon texture. Always nice to see a proper, decent carbon texture that has the light working as it should, with all the bump mapping or bit mapping, whatever it is that makes it work. It looks great. We also have the T-top version with the glass. Again, that is definitely a looker. Or we just have the sunroof. But of course, because Michael's head's sort of bobbing through, we could either go with that or just remove roof for now. Let's just do that. So here we have the interior. Full detail going on with everything. Got some Supra badging going on there. Lots of texture. All of the stuff like the stereo. There you go. Let's just go for some nice super zoomed in look right there. All the Toyota original double-din stereo. It is, of course, a 6-speed. It has these, of course, classic Supra seats. A seat that you don't normally see in Supras these days because they've all been ripped out for something else. And then we have all the dials going on there. Under the bonnet, we have a full 3D, very nicely textured 2JZ engine right there. Look at that, 3000 VTI. All of that is all, in fact, there's all little bits of 3D going on there. All nice little bits of detail. So much to see with this. There's the battery going on there. Everything looking very nice. Very good job with this, I've got to say. We also have the boot, which is all fully textured, fully modelled. Again, looking really nice. And let's just jump into the parts, because we could sit here all day admiring this thing, but there's a lot to check out. And by the way, I really need to sort out my mods here because I've got way too many bound to one button. And you know what? This is the perfect place to modify this. So let's just jump straight in. Let's go to menus, customs. Let's start off with ice. This is actually going to be the rear lights. So we have, of course, the classic, the quintessential Supra light. Then we have the tinted version. Basic, simple, just tinted. Then we have the Aventador style ones. These are definitely something I've seen on a few Supras in my time. I like the idea. I don't really like the execution of these lights. They just don't really fit Supras at all. Then we have probably the Steve Buscemi lights, as I'd like to call them. They are truly truly terrifying. Then we have the covered version, which just hides those disgusting holes there. Then we have the LED version, which I've got to say, if you're going to go for an aftermarket one, I'd probably vote for that one because it is pretty simple. Then we also have the Euro style one. How's this changed from the... Oh, does it really? Does the Euro one really have the reverse light switched? I didn't know that. Weird. I've mostly seen Supras with those lights like that. Anyway, and then we'll have the other one at the end, saved for another video. Just to keep you on tenterhooks, isn't it? Tenterhooks? What the hell's that saying? So on the spoilers, we have the stock. We have the TRD V1. We have the June. These are all named as well, which is incredible as well, because most of these mods, they just chuck on the parts. They don't really name them. This is all named. We have Trial. Oh, Trial, what were you thinking? Race. That's, again, quite interesting. We have Top Secret. That is pretty classic, I'd say right now. I would like to make a Top Secret Supra if I can. We have the TRD V2. We also have the V3. Definitely think they should have just stuck with the V2 on that one. Definitely a nicer looking spoiler. We have the Veilside number 1, looking a little low actually. Veilside number 2, were they really that low? They're very small. I didn't realise that. We have the TRD GT 500. We have the Bomex V1. Oh, that's interesting. Sort of looks like, I think we see these on like Toyota Supras and stuff, not so much on Supras. Then we have the V2. Massive, massive. What is that shape? That is weird. Okay. Then we have Veilside number 3. And that is all of the spoilers right there. I don't even know what this build's going to be, so I'm just going to go for top secret because I'd quite like to make a top secret version. Then on the front bumpers, yes, you have read that number right. It is 1 of 55. We really need to speed this up. We have the carbon lip. Really nice carbon texture. Always good. We have the TRD painted. We have the TRD in black. We have the TRD in carbon. We have the TRD V2, which has that little bit more to the side, as you can see. Then we have that in paint, black, carbon. We have the Yaris and Redox lip. We have the drag lip. I do quite like that sort of flatter chin on the Supra front end. We have the BN Sports. This is going to like full body kit territory right now. Bomex Type 1. This is definitely... That is definitely the one from Fast and the Furious, right? I'm not remembering that wrong. Could be, but that does look very familiar. Then we have the June. Not so much a fan of that June kit. We have the Trial. Again, very weird. Does sort of look Ferrari-y, actually. Then we have the Redox. We have the Top Secret, a classic. We'll definitely go for that one. We have the Charge Speed. Very big, wide, gaping mouth there. We have the Bomex Type 2. We have the Race. Oh, I tell you what, I really do like the standard bumper on the Supra. That's nice. I do like that. Then we have the Viper bumper. If you wanted to make it look like a terrible American muscle car, that will trigger some people. There we go. There's the race version of the Viper. I do like those lights, though. I've always been a fan of those, especially when you add them with the Viper stripes in the same line. Then the TRD 500, which, as you can see, definitely gets tied with something a little bit more interesting. We'll take a look at that in a bit. We also have the Abflug. Again, this is for much wider front ends. I will be changing those soon. Then we have the Veilside 1, which has different headlights. Oh, hang on. So the other thing that we can do is, of course, change the lights. There's some names here that are going to spoil the next video, but if we remove the lights, we should now have a better option. We could probably change the hood as well. We could spend so long doing all of this. I haven't even finished this list. How much more are there? Okay, there's Veilside 1, 2, and 3. Very weird. And yeah, these next ones are going to be for the next video, so that's perfect. Let's just go with Veilside number 1, which means that we should have a matching Veilside bonnet. There we go. Veilside 1 bonnet. That's going to get that matching. Then the fenders, which we can go for Veilside 1. And as you can see, they do sort of line up. Why is that one? Did I go for 2 in the end? No. Why is that? That might just be a bug, in all honesty. Yeah, I think that could probably go a little bit further forward. But basically, the idea is you have to go ahead with a bunch of these and change the fenders and the hood. So, okay, just for this one, I'm going to go quickly. I'm going to go for the top secret. Done. On the rear bumper, we have quite a few options here. We have the stock. We have the Abflug. Not really a fan of that one. We have the Blitz. Is that the one from Fast and the Furious? Could be wrong. We have the Trial right there, which is all right. We have the BN Sports. We have the Bomex with spats. Down the bottom there, we have the twin exhaust exits on the standard bumper. We have the TRD GT500. We have the Abflug wide. I'll do these builds. I'll show you guys. We have Veilside 1. We have Veilside 2. Veilside, very interesting. And then we also have these two at the end. I'm going to quickly spoil this. You can kind of get an idea of what's going to happen there, but you'll have to wait for the next video to see the full thing. Okay? So for this one, I'm just going to go for Trial, because I think that looks pretty mad. On the skirts, loads of options. Abflug, Bomex, Trial, Top Secret, Redox with carbon, Redox wide, Charge Speed. Ooh. Oof. Okay, that's definitely going to be matching with something. Veilside 1, Veilside 2. And then we have one to ignore. Then we have the GT500, the BN Sports, and the stock wide. Of course, with this one, I'm going to go for Top Secret. On the exhaust, quite a few options here. We have the stock. We have the BN Sports. Then we have some custom ones to fit in with different kits and just whatever. That Veilside one presumably is going to be there. Okay, look, if I just slightly go in, yeah, that's supposed to stick out of the bumper on the Veilside kit ones. We have the twin pipes, we have the Veilside twins, and then we have a couple you shouldn't see, and then we have the TRD GT500 twins. Let's just go for twin pipes, shall we? Or just one out the side, because do you know what, that's probably more my thing. Yeah, I'm going to go custom 2 for that one. On the grille, these are actually the headlights. So we have the stock headlights, we have the HIDs, then we have the painted version, we have the top secret exposed one, then we have the top secret one. I much prefer that one with the glass instead of being the glassless one. Then we have the covered, we have the carbon, we have the small light, we have the netted, the netless, and then we have some eyelid star ones if you want to go for some different eyelids through there, and then these ones at the bottom here to match, or we could just remove. For this one, I'm going to go top secret. On the hood, we have the Euro, we have the Jun. Oh, tell you what angle are we going to get this at? We have the TRD. Oh, that's the one. That's the one from Fast and the Furious. Then we have the top secret V2, the drag carbon, the TRD GT500, and that one in the V2 carbon, the Doluck or Duluck, the charge speed carbon, Abflug, Veilside 1, Veilside 2, and yeah, some other ones that we'll be checking out in the next video, or we could just remove the hood. For this one, I'm going to go top secret 1. Then on the fenders, we have the options of the stock, the TRD wide, getting that a little bit wider. We just have the wide one, which changes basically the TRD one, but without that vent. Then we have this vented one, we have the vented wide, we have the charge speed. As you can see, this is going to match with the charge speed parts. There's the Abflug to match with the Abflug parts. We have the Veilside to match with the Veilside parts, Veilside 2, GT500, and then we have a bunch of stuff that we're going to check out in the next video. For this one, I want to go for the vented wide. Actually, just the vented for this one, because it sort of matches up with the bonnet and everything else. Then we have the other fenders for the rear. So we have the stock, we have the wide, we have the Redox, the Abflug. Oh, the Abflug really changes everything. Oh my goodness, look at that. That's a lot of change going on there. Then we have Veilside 1, Veilside 2, and then the one at the end. There's so many combinations. I think I'm not going to show every single one. It's going to be up to you guys to just investigate these and download it for yourself. But I'll show a couple. Then on the roof, of course, as we've seen, we've had all these remove, the carbon, the T-roof, and the sunroof. In fact, for this one, I might actually just put it back to stock roof. We'll just have to ignore Michael's head. Then, of course, as it is a Supra, you have to go ahead and tune the engines, brakes, transmission. Suspension, it drops it fair enough. Paints, let's just go for some custom paints. Now I know to use the RGB settings. Will be a good starter point. Oh, I like that green, actually. And if we just add a bit more blue, ooh, we get an interesting, it's a bit bright, actually. Let's just knock the green down a little bit. Yeah, that's a kind of freshy sort of, it's something that you don't see in GTA 5. And for that reason, I'm going to go for it because I like to go for these custom paint colors now. It's my new thing. And the wheels, seems we don't actually have any options for like the wheels we had on the top secret car. I'm not even going to try and remember what those wheels were. I'm just going to find something that matches. Although I'm pretty sure they are similar to these wheels or these. So I'm actually just going to go for them. And I'm going to have them in frost white just so I can actually see the spokes on that one. Now these wheels do look a little small. It's a good thing we have V-Stancer because they definitely look a little bit lost there. So we'll go ahead, we'll go to suspension menu. We'll actually raise it up a little bit just so I can get the wheels to a nicer size. I think that's going to be about right, something like that. Bit more width. And there we are, we bring the track width in, front and rear. And we can just go ahead and just drop this just a little bit. We don't even want to go any more than that really because we don't want to make this unusable, but still looking cool. And there we go. There is our top secret Supra. Somewhat, because I mean the rear bumper's not right, I'm sure. But that is looking pretty fresh. And how fast is it going to go? It's actually quite fast stock. So I imagine, now that I've tuned everything up, it should be pretty good. But I can go one further than that, as you guys know. So I'm going to go to customs. I'm actually going to change the engine sound here to the Sultan RS. And it's really, I tell you what, actually that's too wrong for a Supra, isn't it? That's definitely not what a Supra's supposed to sound like. It doesn't, there's no real proper 2JZ sound in GTA though, that's the problem. So actually maybe something like the 9F sound? Yeah, similar, isn't it? Similar. And of course, we've got to have a turbo on it. It is a Supra, of course. Now, what I can do is I can go to torque multiplier and I'll change this up for, I don't know, 15. We won't make it too mad. I know that it is a Supra, but that should still be plenty enough to have nothing but wheel spin for a mile or two. Okay, yeah, that's fast. That's fast. Woo! Okay, that is incredibly fast. How did I not crash into anyone there? That is mental. Thank you. That was definitely not me. Okay, so for these coming up builds, I'm actually just going to build them because we've seen all the parts now. It's just going to be a case of me having to now awkwardly change around all the parts to get the different build combinations. So I'll build an Abflug one, maybe one of the Veil sides, and the GT500. Okay, so here we are with the GT500 TRD, and this thing I don't think I've ever seen one before because I've definitely never seen this before, and it looks absolutely ridiculous. Now there's no liveries or anything, so perhaps there was supposed to be some sort of livery that would go with this as it's supposed to be. Presumably some sort of race car, but right now I just decided to go with orange, and I had to really make these wheels bigger. I changed them a lot in size to get them to fit in these arches. It's just mad. But even then, it still feels a little bit too low. But I mean, it is a race car, so maybe that's right. But definitely getting some wheels bugging through there. But this is just insane. Right, so I'm very curious to see what one of the Veil sides looks like. I do believe that some of these body parts aren't attached properly, or they're not really lined up properly, because as you can probably see with this one, when it does stop, we do actually have like a bit of a difference in sort of like gap there, as you can see. Things aren't lined up. But let's just give one of the Veil side kits a try. Okay, so this one's interesting. So definitely I'd have to say that I think I have done these right. I think it's just that this front bumper is just not set forward enough. I think that's the problem. Apart from that though, I've never seen one of these before. It has to be the ugliest Supra of all time. I mean, I also went for the Steve Buscemi lights just to sort of add insult to injury, but this thing is absolutely dreadful looking. It's just disgusting. Oh man, it is so wrong. But there we are. There is the Veil Side 1 kit. I'm going to try the Abflug, then we're finished. I'm just curious to see what the Abflug one looked like because it also looked kind of funky. So let's just park up over here and give the Abflug a try. And also, let me know what you think of this colour. I'm trying out all these different random, weird, custom colours. I think this one's quite nice. Let me know what you think. Okay, here we are with the Abflug. Now, don't even ask me about the colour. I don't know what I was doing. I was trying to make it gold to match this because the gold of the paint and the gold of the wheels is a slightly different shade. I didn't do too well. I've really gone a bit mad with this one. I went for the naturally the Aventador style rear lights because it was mad. I went for the Veil side rear exhaust because that one just happened to match. The lights are a bit of an odd one. They didn't really match in with the shape of the light thing, so I was a bit confused as to what I was supposed to go with. But there we have the Abflug kitted Supra. There is so much to do in this mod, and bear in mind, I've only shown you some of it. I haven't shown you the other part, which is what we'll be checking out in another video. But you guys, leave a comment letting me know which one of these kits so far that I've done you think is good. I reckon probably the first car I built was probably the best one. All these other ones have just been rather weird. This one, in fact, looks like an FTO. It's all sorts of strange. And in fact, you can just smash it up and, oh look, it doesn't look any different. But yeah, there we go. That is it for this video. There will be, I can only apparently now turn in circles. I can't really go straight. This is me aiming straight. Yeah. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But I'll see you again. I don't know if the continuation of this will be in the next video, but it will be very soon if it isn't. So keep your eyes peeled. But that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.